Hello there. It's 10:20 p.m. here in Sweden, and I would like to end my short series of stories from India by telling you about my dinner with the foreign minister and the Minister of Defense of India in May 2005. First, let me give you some background information. There is one person who has written the national anthem of two countries. Maybe you know who that one might be. It's Rabindranath Tagore from India, who won the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1913. He was a writer, philosopher, painter, friend of Einstein, those kind of things. A real Renaissance genius, almost forgotten in the West, but in India and Bangladesh, people know his songs by heart, and he wrote the national anthem of India and Bangladesh, one Hindu and one Muslim country. Quite an achievement. And I've told you already that I published my PhD thesis in 2002, and it was concerned with the connections between India and Sweden throughout history. In 1997 I went to an archive outside Uppsala, Sweden, where I found a kind of a shoebox full of articles about Tagore's visits in Sweden 1921 and 26. So I thought, wow, maybe this stuff could interest someone. So I took copies and added the material into my thesis, and the years passed by. I sold maybe 50 copies of the study. That's fine, because the achievement gave me a fairly decent employment at the university. So in 2005 I was sitting in front of the open fire together with my wife in our living room. We had been cross-country skiing, so I felt relaxed. The phone rang. My wife answered, and she told me, I think there's someone who's trying to sell something to us again. I felt in a good mood, so I grabbed the phone and I heard a voice. Hello, this is Gautam from the Swedish Embassy in New Delhi. Hello, Gautam. He had a perfect Swedish accent, although his name was undeniably of Indian origin. What can I do for you, Gautam? Well, we would like to ask for your permission to translate your essay on Tagore to English. I had indeed published such an essay in an online magazine that was accessible on the web. So I told him, of course you can translate the article, but may I ask you, why do you want to translate it? Well, he said, it's because of this theft. What theft? Tagore's Nobel medal has been stolen from Visva-Bharati University, where it had been kept after Tagore's death in 1941. And there had been riots in Dhaka and Calcutta. The burglars had never been found, and people were upset, to say the least. The Indian government had turned to the Nobel Academy and asked them if they would be willing to print a duplica of the gold medal in solid gold, along with a copy in bronze, as a goodwill gesture. The Swedish government supplied the Academy with the necessary funds, and the medal was printed. It costed 50,000 crowns, almost 5,000 euro, and the medals were handed over to the Prime Minister of India at the Swedish Embassy in New Delhi. And that's the beginning of the story, because the governor of the province of West Bengal, Gopal Krishna Gandhi, the grandson of Mahatma Gandhi, suggested that the Swedish embassy should find someone who had written about Tagore's visits in Sweden and find someone suitable for the mission and have him write a book or a booklet about his studies. So the staff at the embassy promised to do so, and they Googled and they found me. So I started to work with this booklet together with Gautam. He found a translator, and we found other contributors to the study. And a week before the actual ceremony, because the Nobel Prize medals were to be handed over to the university at an official ceremony at Visva-Bharati on Tagore's birthday on May the 7th. A week before the ceremony, this strange idea emerged in my mind that I should actually attend at the ceremony. So somehow I managed to find the money from my university, and I arrived in Calcutta at 4 a.m. in the morning. I was picked up in a limo, driven to a hotel. I took a shower after having been jogging in Maidan, the big park in downtown Calcutta. I was brought to another hotel where I met the Swedish ambassador in India, Inga Eriksson Fogh, her husband, and Gautam and others. And then we were escorted by armed forces to Visva-Bharati. That's a 5-hour drive northwest of Calcutta. We slept in a hotel, had breakfast, and suddenly someone shouted, "Now they're coming!" I heard a helicopter approaching, and we were brought to a reception hall, and in came Natwar Singh, the Prime Minister of India, Pranab Mukherjee, the Minister of Defense, Amartya Sen, the great Nobel Prize laureate in economy. He's a professor of economy and philosophy at Harvard, a great scholar and a great character. And we had tea together. There was this long table that had been arranged. People were taking photos. Then we went outdoors. There was a big tent. It was obvious that something big was coming up. A big tent. Children's choir was ready to sing Tagore songs, and on each of these chairs a booklet had been placed. This one, Tagore in Sweden, 1921 and 26. And it says on the cover, along with its title, Tagore and so forth, by Olavi Hemila, PhD, published by the Embassy of Sweden in New Delhi on the occasion of the replacement of Rabindranath Tagore's Nobel medal to Visva-Bharati Shantiniketan on the 7th of May 2005. This ceremony was so magnificent, so beautiful, I couldn't possibly live up to the splendor of the event. I felt unworthy. People must have wondered, who's that pale guy in the middle? Is it a Swedish king or an advisor of the king? Obviously no one knew about my working class background. So we had this dinner. I had an opportunity to speak in privacy with Amartya Sen for a few minutes, and we had a dinner. The celebrities flew back to Delhi in their helicopter. And what did I do? I went back to Calcutta on a train in the middle of the night. When I ordered the tickets, my mind was so agitated that it didn't occur to me that I could stay longer in India and make friendship with some influential people. I went back to the hotel. And when I got there, I told the night-keeper, "I'm tired, I think I'll have a bath. I've been on a train for 5 hours." And he said, "I know, sir, we saw you on television." I believe that the artist Andy Warhol said that each human being deserves to be famous for at least 15 minutes. I suggest that 48 hours is a more appropriate time span, at least if we're talking about lost Nobel Prize medals. On the next day I flew back to Sweden, back to oblivion. But I hope I inspired someone with this story. You know, anything can happen, so I urge you to keep your eyes open. Thank you.